you doing today? Got a little wind today, so we're going to try walking a different direction, see if we can get away from that. Maybe you can hear me better. You can hear the quail in the background. They sound like strangled chickens, but they're awfully cute. So I noticed my seeds that I started on my day off. I see the quinoa is starting to send a root down, and the seed pod is like on top of it. So I'm actually going to try to put those outside. Kind of like starting the plants inside, but as soon as I see any sign that it's germinating, put it outside, because then it can harden off itself in the sun. And because in other words, you've got a pretty lengthy hardening off process at this point in our summer. Got some good sun going for us, which is great for growing, but it can actually cook your plants too, especially if they're not hardened off. Plants actually can get sunburned. In Alaska, I used to start all of our seeds inside in a garage, and I would start some of them in January, February, March, then April and May. But I always had a process which was quite time consuming. I'd put all the plants outside initially for 30 minutes, then for an hour, and working up their exposure to the sun, because plants too can get sunburned, believe it or not. So I need to get those outside so they can come out in the outside, and we won't have to deal with that process. And then also I have some plants that came in, arnica. How many people are familiar with arnica? There's a lot of pain creams out there that more in the natural pain relief section that use arnica, and I don't know if I can get it strong enough by growing my own and dehydrating it and infusing oil to create the same effect, but thought it was worth trying. I'm planning to combine that with other things such as comfrey and feverfew. I think all those things are beneficial for topical pain relief. We'll see. It's all one big experiment in Mrs. Painter's garden. It is beautiful today. Meg's kind of wondering what's up here. She's actually lagging behind me because she's not sure where we're going. I'm going a different way this morning. Going a different way, walk away from the wind. She's actually going to get a little more shade this way too. Come on, baby. Can go for a walk? Yeah, we can go for a walk. Come on. Yeah, she's lagging behind because she's not sure where I'm going. Oh, pretty trees. It's gorgeous out this morning, as usual. That's one wonderful thing about living here is almost every day is a beautiful day. Very rarely do you have a day that's not gorgeous, right? There we go. She's getting a little more comfortable. She doesn't like new things. I think that's because she was abused. She likes repetition of the same stuff. It gives her more confidence, I think. Oh, there's a mesquite. That's a nice one. It's low to the ground. That one will be easy to pick from. Always keeping my eyes open for mesquite trees because I'm actually starting to like using that flour in some of my baking. It's definitely good in those chocolate cookies that we made. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. Come on. Yep, see, a little noise spooked her. It's definitely good in those chocolate cookies, and I've been experimenting with adding that into bread. And it's not like a yeast bread. I'm actually using baking powder and baking soda. And I'm combining it with, I don't know if you watched my keto nut and seed bread. So I'm doing half the keto nut and seed bread ingredients, and I'm doing half mesquite flour with just a little bit of wheat flour added into it. Trying to be a little more low gluten. Don't need too much of that stuff. And the great thing about the mesquite flour and the keto nut and seed, it's also vegan bread, is there's no exposure to pesticides and that stuff. So yeah, almost everything you buy, it's like really hard to get away from grains that have not been exposed to pesticide. The more you can grow yourself, the better. We're gonna have to get a bag out here. Miss Meg just did her business, so let's get that cleaned up. And it's not the same as far flavor-wise and texture as like a wheat bread, but it's not too bad. I mean, it works for us. We're willing to trade a little bit in order to gain a... Oh, she's going around me. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go forward. She's going... We're willing to trade off a little bit in order to get something healthier that doesn't expose us to harmful stuff, right? Almost all the grains that you buy in the store and even from wholesalers are exposed to glyphosates. What you doing? They're exposed to glyphosates, and they use glyphosates. It's both a pesticide and it dries the grains. And unfortunately, that is in your flour. Even one company that I really like that I buy a variety of natural grains from, I asked them and they said, unfortunately, yes, a lot of their products have been exposed to pesticides. So even if you're using a reputable company, they don't really have any control over. Come on, baby, come on. She's like, Mom, we don't normally go this way. What are you doing? Even if you use a reputable company, they don't really have any control over the techniques that the farmers are using. And I don't have any angst against farmers. I see, oh, why are people throwing corn husk out here? That's crazy. I just don't understand that. And it's hard being a farmer. I can tell you, especially living here, there are so many bugs. I tell you every day, well, not every day, but every summer, we get new bugs. Every time we succeed in growing something, a new bug shows up. So I don't have the solution. I don't know if you could ozone your grains and water before you use it. Obviously, that's not going to work with flour. You're going to make a huge mess. Come on, baby, let's go. She's like, where are you going, Mama? We don't normally walk this way. I don't know if you could... It'd probably be easier to do with grains because you could put your grains in the water. You could ozone them. She just doesn't like the car. You could ozone them. It's all right. It's okay. You could ozone them, and then you could use a strainer to strain it out. There you go. Come on. Yep, it's all right. You're going to live. Wow. Less wind, a little less sun, but she doesn't like it. All that stuff takes time, though, and a lot of people don't have time. Most of the people I know here don't even cook, which I kind of feel like the best connection you have to your health is cooking your own food. It's definitely what I like to do. And we do go out from time to time, and it's nice to get a break, especially now when I'm working, but the more you can cook your own food, the healthier you're going to be. For starters, you know what's in the food, and you have more control over what's combined in it. Seriously, if you have any problems with your weight, and I think most of us as we get older start to have a little bit of trouble, but if you have any problems with your weight, try cooking for yourself. You'll be surprised. It'll really make a big difference. Come on. It's beautiful today. See the mountains in the distance up there? It's nice living close to those mountains. Happy that we're on the outskirts of a very big city. Oh my. You're just struggling today, aren't you? You just don't like change. You're gonna live. So we started a doll dress on Thursday, and I think we're gonna try to finish that on Thursday. For anybody who's enjoying the sewing, we have some projects going with doll dresses. Enjoy the trees. They say that having trees like this actually helps keep the place cooler, keeps the area cooler. And it's got to be a bit of a debate because then it's more to water, but it definitely makes it cooler, makes it more enjoyable, that's for sure. How you doing over there, huh? How you doing? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ruin your walk by going a different direction. Yeah, I didn't mean to ruin it for you. She'll be happy once we get to the park. We're going the back way to the park. A little bit of block from the wind. Those pretty trees. I think those are mountain laurels. I don't know, we don't have them in our yard. Pretty much most of the trees we have in our yard. It's all right, come on. Most of the trees we have in our yard are fruit bearing. Actually, I should say all of them are. We do have a couple of things that flower, and it's kind of nice for the hummingbirds, the bees, although the bees like the fruit trees. Bees like everything that's going in the yard. Even if your brassica type plants go to seed, the hummingbirds love those. Apparently those have a lot of flavor. So anyway, thanks for joining us today. Oh, are you going to go ahead of me now? Maybe you want to smell something? Thanks for joining me today. Oh, there's a bottle brush, pretty desert flowering plant bush. I don't know what that's called. Or that really. Thanks for joining me. Have a blessed day today.